We got the echo back. We got the echo effect going on just to mess with your heads a little bit before I bring on Grassroots Comedy Tour superstar and seasoned comedy road warrior, Charlie Wiener. Charlie Wiener, everybody.
Well, they came right out of the fucking 60s.
Hell yeah, man. We got people joining in already, dude. People want to hear from the Road Dog himself, the original Road Dog. From what I understand, you actually have Road Dog tattooed on your ass from, what is it, 4 or 5 decades of doing comedy, doing show business? What is it, dude?
I've been doing show business, like we like to call it, show business, for 52 years, and pretty much doing comedy for the past 45. Been on the road constantly for the past 40 or so.
And Charlie Wiener himself, first of all, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine for an old step man.
Charlie, he's got number one. I think he's got one of the best show business names you could possibly have, especially for comedy. Charlie Wiener. I got stuck with Jeremy Danley. That's why I had to change it to JerDog. But that's your actual real name, isn't it, dude?
It's close enough. Nobody would ever know the difference.
Charlie Wiener, Grassroots Comedy Superstar, is going to be at Gunderson's Supper Club and Lounge this Saturday night, January 19th. At Gunderson, Lake Park, Iowa. So all of my North Iowa fans and friends and followers and everybody head on up there. It's like their 3rd or 4th part of this year's Grassroots Comedy Tour series, and they sell out every time. See Grant for ticket info. Grant or Tanya Gunderson, they've got the ticket information. If there are any seats left available, I think they might actually be sold out, but if not, there'll be a few seats. And this is the time to get them. Otherwise, you're fucked, man. And I'll put the information in the video right now. And Charlie, dude, you're like me. You like to go to these shows.
This weekend.
What's that, buddy?
It's supposed to be 85 and sunny this weekend, so it's a good weekend for comedy.
Yeah, 85 and sunny in the middle of January in Iowa. That's fucking, talk about somebody tripping out right now.
That's what I heard. What's up?
Hey, buddy, you're like me. You like to show up at the gigs, and it's about the show, but it's also about the crowd having a good time and almost making it a party. Would you agree?
I always want people to. I mean, it's the whole idea. It's like, as I try to explain to people over and over again, the last person in the world that this show is about is me. It's about the crowd. It's about their whatever. The idea is people are coming to see. They're walking in the door, paying their money to have a good time. You owe them a good fucking time, because even if they get it free, they made an effort to come to this show. So they deserve everything that you can give them. I don't care if you feel like shit. I don't care if your girlfriend broke up with you. I don't care if your dog died. I don't care anything. When you take the stage, none of that shit matters. They paid to see a show.
Yeah, I think that's what distinguishes. A lot of people act like what makes you a professional in show business is that you get paid for it. I think what the real designation of a professional in show business is, you get up there and you get the job done even on nights you don't feel like it.
Well, I mean, anybody can do it when it's easy. I mean, really, I say it. Anybody can do it when the crowd is easy and you feel great, everything else. The idea is, well, you have to walk up there no matter what. I walked up there. I walked on stage after my mother had a severe stroke. I walked on stage after they told me my daughter had cancer twice. I walked on stage after my mother died. I walked on stage after anything, you name it, and I've divorced, shit, whatever, women leaving you. It doesn't make any difference. And the nice thing is, and I hate to say it this way, but really, my safe place is the stage. That's where I feel good. That's where, no matter what happened in my life, when I walk on stage, everything is fucking fine right there.
Yeah, I agree, man. That's where I actually feel my most confident and most myself. Sometimes you see performers get up there and that's kind of where they're doing their character. I feel like I'm doing more of a character in real life than I am when I'm doing my stand-up comedy routine. Yeah.
Right. I mean, comedy, Mike, I've never written a joke in my life, so I don't know. I walk on stage, I do my show, but it's all real. It's all honest. It's true stories. Some of it might be slightly exaggerated, and some of it might not be. But it's just, that's what it is. And it's like, this is, people go, You know, you shouldn't say things like that on stage. I go, I shouldn't fucking live this stuff. If I lived it, I'm saying it. I don't give a shit. I shouldn't say it. I shouldn't have done it. How about that?
Yeah, right. You know, that's the whole thing. It's like you guys are offended. I'm the one that had to fucking live through that situation.
Right. Right. Offended. You ought to be offended. You ought to be buying me a fucking drink right now.
Do you think Charlie Wiener's going to be at Gunderson Supper Club and Lounge this Saturday night, January 19th, Grassroots Comedy Tour, superstar, the man with the best name in show business as far as I'm concerned? Because who can forget that? Charlie Wiener. And you've got a great headshot, too. For years, I didn't know what you really looked like. I thought you were just a cartoon of a hot dog sitting on a beach.
Right. That's that. You know, somebody else goes, why do you have a cartoon? I go, do you see this face? Do you think this face is going to draw anybody in? At least the cartoon people go, well, that might be interesting. Let's go to the show.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
My face is not good. I don't look like Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is very happy about that.
Yeah, I never understood why comedians need
He'd be an ugly fucking guy.
Right. Why do comedians need the fucking headshot? Nobody is coming to the show based on what we look like. They only care if you're going to be funny or not.
Right. Are you coming because I'm pretty? Because if you're coming because I'm pretty, you should probably stay home with a nice hot toddy and a fire. That's what you ought to do. If you're coming because you want to have fun, that's the show you want to come to.
Carlin Haggerty. Do you know Carlin Haggerty?
Pretty. We're not supposed to be romantic leads. We're supposed to be comedians.
Right. Carlin Haggerty says Charlie Wiener is a goddamn.
So an hour and 5 show and still want to have sex with me? You have problems. So I'm going to tell you.
Right, you got worse problems than I do.
That's right. And I'll tell you what. After watching my show for an hour, if you want to fuck me, I don't want to fuck you.
It's like that old phrase, I'd never be a member of a club that would accept
me. Right. I'm just saying, oh my God, are you shitting me?
Right.
Who the hell would do that?
But you like to,
I lost all respect for my wife. How do you not respect your wife? I go, well, she's fucking me. So there you go. She's got no respect for herself.
Right out of the gate, Charlie Wiener. This is what you're going to get this Saturday at Gunderson's in Lake Park, Iowa. A real small town, but they pack them out, dude. You're going to get a crowd in there of like 80, 90, 100 people, depending on how they arrange the chairs and if they do standing room. A lot of times it's standing room only. You're going to have a blast. If you can survive the weather. Have you ever got stuck in the weather? Have you ever had? I've been
God, I've been stuck in the weather 100 times. Whatever, you either keep going. I was going up to a gig in Minot, North Dakota one time, and we're driving along. It was like the middle of winter. In the middle of the night, and driving through North Dakota, there's nobody on the road but me and a truck, and that's it. And I'm behind him because he's able to plow through. There were like 4 or 5 foot drips across the highway, but he's pounding through them. We're doing like 50 miles an hour, 45, 50 miles. We're moving. We don't give a shit. You know, we're just the two of us. All of a sudden, another car pulls up behind me. I'm like, okay, now there's 3 of us. See, safety in numbers. All of a sudden, the lights come on. This guy gets on his speaker. He goes, if you fucking guys don't get off at the next exit, I'm arresting both of you. I mean, we were doing all right. But we had to get off and sit in Jamestown for a night. So, how it goes.
Yeah, did you get arrested?
No. If we wouldn't have got off, he would have because he had the road closed. He goes, didn't you see the sign for the road closed? Right. After he pulls us off. He goes, no. I said, I didn't see any. But I couldn't see it because it was snowing so hard, you couldn't see the sign.
Yeah, man. I've been through those whiteout conditions on my way from like North Dakota to Omaha, Nebraska, and it was hard to tell if you were even still on the road or not.
Yeah. I was going through, I'd say one of my favorite weather stories, this is only for a couple of years back. I'm heading out to the West Coast, and so I stopped in Billings, Montana to have lunch with some friends of mine, 2 women that I know out there that are just wonderful people. And I literally got out of the car. I'm in a T-shirt and shorts. It's 78 degrees out in Billings, Montana. So we had lunch and everything else. I go, well, I'm heading to Bozeman. I'm going to spend the night in Bozeman. And so I called my wife. I go, well, I'll be there in an hour and a half. I'll call you when I get in. My wife calls me 4 hours later, and she goes, where the fuck are you? I go, I can't talk to you. I can't see. I'm driving like 20 miles an hour. I went literally from 78 degrees and sunny to within half an hour, 45 minutes, in a foot of snow and just pounding like a mother. They're like, you got to stop. I go, I'm not stopping in this. Are you shitting me? Stop in this, they'll never fucking find you.
Yeah, man. Conditions that would keep the average person at home do not affect seasoned road dog comedians such as yourself.
But you can't. What are you going to do? If you stopped every time it got shitty weather, you'd never be able to, you wouldn't do shit. You'd be sitting at home all the time going, well, I can't get to the gig. What do you mean you can't get to the gig?
Yeah.
My favorite thing is I'll drive 1,000, 1,500 miles, get to a gig after driving through a fucking blizzard and storms and everything else. Then I get in there and go, well, the show's closed, or the show's canceled. What do you mean the show's canceled? Well, the weather's too bad. I go, I drove 1,500 miles.
Yeah, no shit.
These guys can't drive a mile to come to the show. I drove 1,500 miles to come to this fucking show.
Yeah, no doubt. That's what I always say. Hey, if I can fucking make it, you guys can too.
Right.
Hey, I got a comment here. This is from Carlin Haggerty, who says that you should be a national treasure, by the way. He goes, Charlie Wiener story. Oh, let me get some shout-outs real quick. I want to get some shout-outs. We got a lot of people watching. Daryl Humphrey's here. Definitely my original mentor in comedy. For real. Taught me how to actually write jokes when I was just a goofball jackass and thought that would be good enough to get into show business. He actually taught me how to refine that shit into a craft. But Carlin Haggerty is here. Timothy, Joanna, Keith, Russell, Dave, Mr. Southeast Iowa himself, Jennifer, checking in from Central Illinois. Robbie heading this week, Hinesboro. Teresa's too. That one's sold out already. Dorothy, Anthony, Ed, John Donovan. What's up, buddy? Nathan Tricky Allen. He's an old road dog himself. We got plenty of run out of gas, stuck on the middle of the road stories from doing our Dirty Jokes and Magic Trick show out there. Charlie Wiener says, Carlin Haggerty says, Charlie Wiener story. He was headlining a show at a hotel that I host. Right down front was a table of 8 very drunk nurses, drunk and belligerent. I had trouble with them. The feature had trouble. Charlie took the stage, and the first words out of his mouth were, I'd like to kill every one of you loud bitches. Sure would send me to jail, but at least, oh shit, I got to scroll up. At least, all right, I'd like to kill every one of you loud bitches. Sure, I'd go to jail, but at least you'd be quiet. You're absolutely fearless, dude.
You know, if you can't be fearless on stage, I don't know where the hell you can be fearless.
I agree, man. And these days, it seems like people are more touchy about topics than they are about words, at least back when it used to be about words. You can say this word, you can't say this word. You can say the F word or not say the F word. Or these are the actual words that are banned. When you go on a radio show, it used to be easy. Just don't say the 7 dirty words. But now it's become about subject matter or attitude or opinion, what people will be offended by in this fucking complaint culture, politically correct bullshit atmosphere that we currently find ourselves in. And then what happens if all topics are off the table? What are we left to actually talk about? Well, here's what I think is actually the positive spin on all that, and I'd like to hear your opinion, Charlie Wiener, is if all topics are now potentially offensive, that means they're actually all back on the table. If they're all taboo, then that gives us equal access to all of them now. What say you?
I don't think anything should be off the table. I don't think anything should ever be off the table. It's like, if it's funny, it's funny. It's as simple as that. And the fact that everybody gets offended by everything, I mean, if you want to be offended, you can be offended by anything anybody said. It's as simple as that. Oh, well, you know, I had a dog when I was a kid, and the dog died. Now you just broke my heart because you're talking about dogs. Okay, fucking suck it up, Buttercup. You know, you were a kid when the dog died. And, you know, I've had 10 dogs die on me. You know, something that breaks my heart every time. It doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about whatever.
Right.
And my God, everybody is so fucking offended. And I have never, in my 57 years of performing, first time ever, when I walk into a club and somebody says you can't talk about politics. Now, I don't do politics. So I don't really give a shit, except for the fact that I think it's fucking wrong. People have slammed presidents since the dawn of time. And all of a sudden we have one guy in office that you're not allowed to say a fucking word about because everybody loses their shit? Yeah, fucking grow up, you thin-skinned pieces of shit.
Yeah, and it's everybody on both sides, whether they're supporters or anti.
I just get so tired of it. It's like, you know, we used to be able to, we have mocked everybody. The reason Washington didn't run for a 3rd term is because people were mocking him at that point. He didn't want to put up with it, so he stopped. He decided he wasn't going to run.
Right.
Didn't tell him to stop mocking him. He just decided he wasn't going to run.
Right. Benjamin Franklin did 10 minutes on Washington at an after-dinner speech in 1792.
Okay, that was me. I admitted it was me. It was, I kept saying teeth. Let me tell you something about teeth.
Carlin Haggerty wants to know, what was it like to have Noah as a road manager?
Noah was a bad road manager. Like, all I could say is, when we got to the gig, there was no fucking audience. It's like, hang out, we're almost there. Like, what the fuck, you're lost. I said, the last time this happened, the next time it happened was with Moses. And he's another one that was like, Jesus Christ, buy a fucking map.
Hey, Gail, what's up? Good to see you. And guys, hit the share button. I've got Grassroots Comedy Tour superstar Charlie Wiener on the phone right now on my fake live talk show on Facebook. I love this shit, dude. You know, it used to be, I was talking about this yesterday on the video that I made, how back in the day, you would have to figure out where you were going using an atlas and a fucking ruler, and then figure out the mileage depending on how many inches were from here to there on the atlas, and then figure all that out. And on a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit through a 2-lane highway, no cell phones. If you had to pull over, you had to find a gas station to fucking pump quarters into a payphone, actually call into a radio thing. They may or may not be available to take your call all the time. You're just trying to get on the road, battle weather conditions. I came up when I first went on the road, it was the early 2000s. At least I had a cell phone. You came up in the day and age where there was none of this shit at our disposal. You had to go completely old school. I can't even imagine what that was fucking like, trying to get to a gig without GPS. I mean, I had to do it back in the day, but I can't even remember back to those times what it was actually like. I can't imagine trying to do this shit now without cell phones, smartphones, GPS, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, I hate to say it, but one of the things, number one, I still carry an atlas. I don't go anywhere without an atlas because your phone could go out on you anytime. Not only that, but I've driven so many miles. I'm over 2.5 million miles in this country of every kind of road, back road, and everything else. But things change. The other thing is like, I used to be able to pull into a gas station. I mean, I pulled into a place one time, and this woman goes, "What are you looking for?" So I told her the place I was looking for. She goes, "Yeah, it's about 15, 20 miles from here. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to drive out this road. You're going to go up about 3.5 miles. You'll see a red barn. You're going to turn left at the red barn. You're going to go." And she told me exactly how to fucking get there. It was fantastic. Now you stop at a gas station or a convenience store and say, "I'm trying to get to such and such a place. It's around here somewhere." You go, "Well, I never heard of it. What road?" I go, "Well, it's on whatever this road." They go, "I never heard of the road." I go, "It's the fucking road right out there. Right in front of you. That's the road it's on." "Oh, I didn't know that was called that." How the fuck do you get to work? How the fuck do you get to work? Oh my God.
Yeah, man, I rolled into
that we're dealing with a bunch of stupid fucks anymore.
Well, yeah, man, that's one thing that has not changed. If anything, it might have even gotten worse because people rely constantly on their GPS or their Google Maps or whatever.
Right.
It used to be you could kind of coherently give directions or get directions, and now asking people where anything is, I think that's another skill that we've lost because we depend on this technology. I rolled into a town one time. I go, "I've never been here before. Can you tell me how to get to Dave's shithole, bar
right.
grill, wherever it was I was doing back in the day?" I go, "I've never been here before." They go, "Well, do you know where the Italian restaurant is?" I go, "I just said I've never been here before." They go, "Okay, right. You go down this street. Do you know where the library is?" I'm like, "I just said I've never fucking been here before. I've never even heard of this town. Why would I know where the Italian restaurant is and the library and every other goddamn landmark you're giving me?"
Oh, I know. Well, the one that cracks me up is when they go, "Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go down to where that barn burned down. Where the barn burned down, like about 10 years ago,
Yeah.
Run."
Do you remember the Anderson's great barn fire on the Anderson's property from 1977?
Right. I mean, I just is like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You're making this up, right?" It's like, no.
Hey, Dave Johnson.
If I'll go playing with that barn burned down, forensics will tell me.
We got a question, Charlie Wiener. Dave Johnson wants to know, did you ever work with Rodney Dangerfield?
No, I never worked with him because he didn't really do the road. He did like New York and L.A.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, a lot of these guys. I mean, back in the day when I first started, there wasn't any comedy tours. You know, you worked bars, you worked wherever you could get in. You did, you know, I did filled out, you know, a full night. I was working 4 hours a night playing music and doing comedy. So you filled out everything. So, I mean, that's kind of the thing is that now, you know, for the last 35, whatever, almost 40 years, you've had comedy tours. You've had clubs all over the country. But, you know, a lot of these guys, shit, they don't come out and work the road. They, you know, they'll work some of the cities and stuff, but they don't come out. They don't work what you and I work.
Right.
They don't work what I've been in every fucking state except for Hawaii and half of Canada and Ireland and everywhere else. You know, I love small town. I love these places like like where we're at Gunderson's and because people are going to walk in, they're going to give you the money, they're going to pay for and they come in and they go, I'm ready for a good show.
Yep.
You know, half the cities you go into, everybody walks in with a fucking attitude. You know what? I'm not here to play make me laugh. I'm here to have a good time.
Yeah.
You want to sit there and stare at me? I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and I liked what you said earlier in the video. If you guys are just now watching, you should go back and watch the replay because Charlie Wiener is throwing down some road dog wisdom from 40 years in the business and 30 some odd years in the comedy game, 50 years in the business, 40 years in the comedy game. I think this dude was around before the comedy club was actually invented. But I liked what you said earlier in the beginning of the video. They've already paid their ticket money. They've already got a babysitter on the clock. They've already made the effort to get out there to the show. It's not their job to give you anything. It's your job to give them something. I hear this from a lot of comedians. They say, well, I didn't get any laughs. It wasn't your job to get laughs. It was your job to give them a great fucking time that they'll remember and talk about.
Right. My job's not to judge the crowd. My job is to go up there and do the best job I could do. That's my job. And you're not going to win every night. But I'll tell you what, win a hell of a lot more than I lose. If I didn't, I wouldn't still be doing this.
Charlie Wiener, he's going to be at Gunderson's Supper Club and Lounge. It used to be a bowling alley. It was like a 4-lane bowling alley, and that's where the comedy originally started. We actually played on the concourse right there. Or no, well, it was like almost on the concourse, but it was kind of like by the cash register where you would also rent the shoes from. And they would bring in like 30 or 40 people, and that actually packed the house. It was a real small space. But Grant and Tanya have done an amazing job out there remodeling the club. Though I think the vintage bowling alley is still there if you want to check that out. But now the comedy takes place in a completely separate room. They pack them in 80, 90, 100 strong. Every single time they do the Grassroots Comedy Tour, which is on the monthly basis, it's the third Saturday of every month from September through May. Charlie Wiener is going to be there this Saturday night, January 19th, Lake Park, Iowa, northern Iowa, southern Minnesota people. Get your asses out there. Otherwise, you're going to miss a hell of a good time. If you don't have tickets, you might be fucked anyway, but I think they do have a few left available, and I'll put all that information in the video description up there. And shout out to my man, Charlie Wiener, and everybody that joined in. Maureen, what's up, girl? Aunt Mo checking in from Azusa, California. Kool-Aid Man is here. Jody Larson, Cheryl. Say hi to Paula for me, Cheryl. Dan is here. Bob. My friend Pamela from Jamestown, Missouri. Jeremy Cartwright, very funny comedian. Steve. Nathan Tricky Allen. Christina. We had a lot of people watching today, dude.
Cool. Well, we always think about people show up. That's the idea.
I forgot to tell you, today's Hump Day Happy Hour. Usually I feature a beer. Today it's this blueberry wheat that my wife and I picked up. I thought that was pretty damn good. I was sitting there sipping on this, and I was getting lessons and I was getting entertained. This is my favorite time to do the live videos when I have headliners and road dogs such as yourself call in and tell me some stories and give me a little bit of wisdom as well. So I appreciate it, man.
Hey, I'm always a ball. I'm looking forward to this Saturday. We're going to have fun come hell or high water.
Hell yeah, buddy. Charlie Wiener, everybody. 4:20 p.m. Central Time or Eastern Time. I'll be back tomorrow. This was Hump Day Happy Hour with a headliner, Grassroots Comedy Tour superstar Charlie Wiener, seasoned road dog,
Great stories, dude. That was a lot of fun. And thank you guys for everybody. If you and wherever you're watching from, leave that in a comment. I'll let you know when I'll be performing in your area soon. Otherwise, hit the share button and the like button and the laugh and the love. Hit the fucking hate button. I don't give a shit. Just hit a button. Charlie, thanks, buddy. We'll talk soon.
No problem. Thanks. Good to talk to you.
All right, you too, man. Thanks for doing this.
Bye.
And guys, dog bless America.